Welcome to Pittsburgh, I believe, Quilt Market, and I'm so happy to be with you guys here again. Today I'm going to show you one of our new little simple patterns, and it's called the Summertime, and it's basically our take on a simple little dress, the pillowcase dress. Usually we like to do bigger projects and quilts, but we always like to do a couple of little easy, quick, fun things to do, and this is one of those patterns this time, and I'm going to show you guys the steps on how to make that today. Alright, so basically this is what the pattern for the summertime dress looks like. It's basically a simple halter dress, and it's literally made out of 2 pieces of fabric and the strap on the top. And I just wanted to show you, basically this is what it looks like on the inside, and I'm going to take you through the steps. So since I don't have a place to cut here today, I've pre-cut a lot of these pieces for you. And I just want you to see that you basically start off with just one strip of fabric that you cut into 2 big rectangles. And the sizes on that depend on the size of the child that you're working it for. But basically, that's where you start off. And I've got those 2, what used to be rectangles of fabric right in front of me. And this is from the Mirabelle collection, which is currently in the shop. And so you've got the front piece and you've got the back piece, and you've put them one after the other. Hold on, I'm pretending that this is not cut yet here for you. So you've got one layered on top of the other. And what you do is you're going to measure over the couple inches that it tells you to measure in the pattern, and you're basically going to trim from that top all the way to the corner of the piece at the end. And you're going to do that on both the front and the back, on both sides. So I have the pieces here that I've already cut off to show you what they look like when you're done cutting. And it's basically a piece that looks like this. It's just like a long strip, bigger on the top, and you cut that off that side on both the front and the back, and you do the same thing on the other side, and you cut it off here. And because this came off of a fold of fabric from the bolt, this has a fold on the end of it. You don't even need to worry about that. It's just here and here. Okay, so I'm going to lay those over there. And so what you now have is a back and a front. And what you're going to do to the back first, I'm going to fold this over here. So this is your back piece. And you're going to take that back piece where you trim the sides, and you're going to trim off one more piece off the top so that it's a couple inches shorter than the front, and you're going to lay that piece aside. And then the entire thing you're going to do to the back piece is you're going to basically create a hem. We tuck it under 1/4 of an inch and then 3/4 of an inch on the top. And you're going to do the exact same thing on the bottom, 1/4 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch. So when you're done, you have a piece that's finished on the top and the bottom, and it's raw on the sides, and that's your back. When you're done with that, you're going to take a piece of elastic, 1/2 inch elastic, and you're going to put a safety pin on the end of it, and you're basically going to feed it into the top of that, what we call casing. And hopefully I can do that here for you without too much trouble. This putting the safety pin on the end of a piece of elastic is kind of one of those seamstress tricks. So you basically you inch it forward like a little inchworm, and you pull it on the front and you pull it back on the end, on the other side, and you basically just take it all the way through. Oops. And if it slips out of your fingers like it just did for me, you basically just find it again. Make sure that this does not come through inside, because then you'll be digging it out on the other side. Believe me, I've done that. So you keep gently pulling it through, and it literally takes like a minute. Okay, so I'm almost at the other end. There I am. Okay, so then you're going to basically pull that through, and this is the way you would put an elastic to anything. And you're going to have it sticking out at least an inch out here so that you basically are safe, that it's not going to go anywhere. And then you're going to literally sew that elastic right on the edge. You're going to sew it into the dress, into the fabric, so that it can't go anywhere. And then depending on what size of dress and what size child you are, the pattern will tell you exactly how much to cut off and how big that piece should be. It's also a very easy thing to size to your child. So you can basically measure their back and some people are going to want it a little bit tighter. My daughter, who I made these for, likes everything to be loose and comfortable. So we basically made it just barely fitting along the back of her back so that it wasn't tight and she wouldn't complain. So basically, once you've determined that length, then you're going to sew it on this side also, and then you're going to trim everything that was sticking out. So you're going to have a piece that basically finishes like this, and that's your entire back. And the front is pretty much just as easy. So I'm going to grab that front piece that we had, and this is the same piece, if you remember, that we trimmed off those diagonal sides off of. We're going to make the exact same hem on the bottom that we did on the front, and on the top we're going to do the exact same hem that we did on the back. But first what we're going to do, so you're going to fold it in half like this, and you're going to use the little armhole template provided in the pattern, and there's a couple different sizes of this depending on the size of dress you're making. And you're going to I've made it here in freezer paper because I love to use freezer paper, and of course I would need to lay it this way if I wanted to iron it on, but I'd take that piece then and I'd just press it to the corner and I would cut around it. Now this is such a simple little curve that for those of you who are more comfortable with sewing, you literally wouldn't even need to use this template. You would just, it tells you how much to measure in and over, and you would just cut a little J. But it's in there, it's very simple. You trim it out. Once you've done that, I'm going to show you on the dress itself because I don't have that piece. Once you've done that, you are then going to turn those armhole edges under. So as you can see on this edge here, here's your armhole on this piece. So you basically have turned it under once and then again, all along that little piece that you've cut, so that you have a finished underarm piece right here, and you do the same thing on the other side. And that's the entire thing you do to the front of the dress, and then you put that same hem on the top that's going to act as the casing. And so I have this here on a little hanger hanging in the booth, but hold on, let me take that off for you. And so what you're going to do then is the front of your dress, you've done your little armholes, and you're going to, the same way that I put in the elastic, I'm going to put the tie-in in the front. So it started off like this, just a straight piece, your two armholes on the end, you've done that casing, and you're going to bring that all in. The way that you do the strap is also another one of those fun, easy ways of getting a strap done for any kind of a project. Is you take a piece of fabric and you basically fold it in half first, right? And then you open it, you fold each half into the center, and then you fold that on itself. And so basically you've got 4 widths of fabric in there, and it creates a great weight for a strap. So this is what this, and then you just basically sew it along and you've got a finished strap. So we've done that here with this one, and we basically have woven it into with a safety pin exactly the same way we did with the elastic, and you basically then position that where you want it on your child. You sew the two pieces together, the front and the back. So you've got, this is the back here, you line up the edge of the end of your armhole with your back, you sew the two pieces up, and you're done. So this is your dress, and of course it's called Summertime, and this, along with all of our other patterns here, of course, are available at the Fat Quarter Shop. Thanks so much.